All right, you guys, we are here at day one of PlantCon, and there is a lot to see and a lot to do, so we're just gonna jump right into it. All right, you guys, we're over here at Plant Poppy. Hopefully you can hear me okay, but we've got an alocasia black velvet pink, looking a very pink here, a $200 price tag. This is obviously their pricey cabinet. We've got a variegated Anthurium clarinerbium for $200, and then a few more of the same kind of plants up in here. We've got a variegated silver sword for $120. And coming down here, we have a tricolor white wizard for $300. We've got some syndapsis and some aglaonemas going on down here. This is a Jody's, I think it's a Jody's silver marble for $25. Here's a Pictum tricolor for only $20. Those have come way down in price. And then a philodendron melanochrysum pink for, I think it says $120 on that tag. That is a very pink indeed, but knowing how hard it is to grow a melanochrysum period, I have a feeling this one's going to be just as difficult, if not more difficult. So definitely not for me. But they also have some giant Monstera Thai constellations over here. I can't see all the way back. It's a giant pot back there. I can't see all the way back there, but there are some smaller ones right here that I can see a price on. So these are $45. When I go around the other side, if I can figure out the price for this giant one, I will let you know. We've got some philodendron gloriosums going on over here. Very full pots. Like, looks like there's definitely more than one vine crawling together in there. Let me see if I can see what the price is. That is $35. Definitely not bad at all for that. Looks like we have some philodendron Congo nuclear. What are these called? Nuclear something. Green Congo nuclear for $35. Look how beautiful the patterning is on those leaves. This is a very beautiful looking philodendron white king or marble king. It's the more marbled variety of the white king, but look how beautiful that vine is with all that red and white striping on it. Absolutely stunning. We've got some El Choco reds over here for $50. They come with a little coco core pole. So I always like that when they provide like a starter pole, and it is the kind that you can add on to. So always keep in mind, if you see some of these prices and you think it seems kind of high, just keep in mind it might have a pole or something that's going to obviously add on to the cost. And then over here, we've got some Monstera mints. You guys know this is not my personal preferred type of variegation on plants, but these are $75. We have some variegated Monstera adansonii. This looks like what is kind of referred to as the mint variety for $30. We've got some marbled, more marbly looking, higher contrast variegation over here on this one. That one's $30. Here is a gorgeous Anthurium Ace of Spades F2 Dark. These are $200, but look how dark those leaves are. And the lighting in here is doing it no justice. It looks so much brighter on camera than it does in person. It's actually really quite dark in person. Here are some Ficus elastica Shavirianas. You guys, these are only $10. I remember when these things were crazy expensive just a few years ago, and now you can get one, a little 4-inch pot one, for $10. That's crazy. You guys, look at this Anthurium. This thing is massive. So we're over at Caleb's Tropicals booth. He is a local Anthurium grower and hybridizer. Really cool guy. Definitely go give him a follow. Check him out. Look at that inflow. That is massive. But these leaves, you guys, they are so gorgeous. This is obviously some kind of luxuriance hybrid. And just to give you an idea, it is a massive, massive leaf. That is so gorgeous. We've got even more big, beautiful Anthurium over here. Look at this leaf right here. That is stunning. It is such a deep kind of chocolatey red color. Look at the veins on that leaf. So gorgeous, you guys. Look at those roots. Those big, giant, chunky roots. That is crazy. Now, you guys, a lot of these aren't labeled. I think some of these are maybe just here to display the mother plants for some of the hybrids so he can show them. But these are just absolutely stunning. And over here, we're at Verdure Culture's booth. This is a beautifully variegated alocasia right here. Absolutely stunning. Let's see if it says it's an alocasia pink chon. It is pricey. I like that they have little tags that are letting you know if it's producing corms already or not. That's really cool. We have a silver dragon albo alocasia over here. That is $250. An alocasia amazonica aurea. Once again, this is not my preferred type of variegation right here because this is a perfectly healthy plant, you guys, but the way the variegation presents, in my personal opinion, makes the plant look like it's sick or it's got a pest issue or something like that, even though it doesn't. And it's just not my preferred aesthetic, but to each their own. Did I just say how much this was? $350 for that one. We've got a pink tie amazonica over here. I love that their tags tell me exactly what it is. I just wish the price was on the same side. $280 for that, because I hate having to take the tags in and out to show you guys, but it is what it is. Here we have a philodendron Florida Beauty crossed with a tortum. So it is a hybrid. Let's see, $150 for that. Here is a butterfly King of Spades anthurium. I am really digging on the King of Spades that I recently got from Green Spaces ID. I'm absolutely loving it. And it is not the same kind as this. This does not have a price on it. All right, you guys, this is a Thematophyllum dragonfire. So you know the plant I have in my office, the big one that sits on the floor. Same kind of plant, but a beautifully variegated one. So the price is $500, but this is an absolutely stunning plant. All right, guys, we're over at Carnivorous booth now, and they have some gorgeous looking Anthurium Queen of Hearts. I really regret not buying the Queen of Hearts that I saw day one of PlantCon Dallas last year from Wild Roots. These are just such gorgeous plants with these super dark leaves that have that slightly reddish tinge to them. And I'm pretty sure it's probably a good thing I didn't buy that one last year, though, because I have a hunch they've come down in price. I think this is 65. Yes, this is 65, which is definitely almost half as much as the one that I almost bought last year. So that's great. That is definitely a contender to potentially come home with me today. And then, of course, this is Carnivoro, like I said. So they specialize in carnivorous plants. So we've got some pinguiculas over here. And if you missed my recent video on how my friends' plants that I rescued earlier this year are doing, they're doing great. But I was talking about getting them a plant for in their bathroom, and they mentioned that they might like a carnivorous plant in there because they've been having an issue with moth flies. So I might be picking them up some sort of carnivorous plant. I'm not 100% certain what yet, but these pinguiculas are all in the $20 price range. And I kind of like the pinguiculas because they look very similar to succulents, and we know that my friends Chris and Megan have a lot of succulents. Okay, so this is Begonia braviramosa, only $30 for this, but it is just such a stunning plant. I have heard it is not necessarily the easiest to take care of. It is a form of Rex begonia, but it is just so gorgeous, you guys. I mean, what other plant can you think of that has such beautiful coloration? And then over here, we've got a bunch of nepenthes, so AKA pitcher plants, also carnivorous plants. These all look like they're in about the $20 price range as well. They do have a lot of them. They have some in hanging baskets over here too. You know, I will tell you guys, it feels like smaller this year than it did last year. And I don't know if it's just because they did it at a different place. This is a larger space, and so it's not as full, which is kind of nice because you can move around a little bit better and it's not quite as noisy and loud. But even with the extra space, I just feel like there aren't as many vendors this year, but maybe I'm wrong. So we're at Anavrin Botanicals booth here. I did last check them out at IAS last year, but look at these pitcher plants up here. Look how large those pitchers are. They are gigantic. They have a ton of them. They've got some beautiful calathea down here. Actually, technically now, Go Persia, but nobody calls them that yet, so I'm not doing it yet either. But these are $20. We've got some Stromanthe here that look lovely too for $20. Some smaller pots of calatheas here for $10. Here's some peacock calatheas, also $10. That is a really good price. You guys, look how beautiful this monstera is. It is so skeletal looking. Look at that new leaf that has just come in back there. That is absolutely gorgeous. So I just looked at the tag, you guys. It's a Monstera cereana, but there is no price listed. But once again, just a beautiful plant. All right, you guys, we're at La Costa Plants now, and we look at these big, beautiful rattlesnake calatheas, some beautiful anthurium here, some beautiful dotties, just absolutely stunning plants. These are only $25. They're in 6-inch pots. They're giant, you guys. Look at the gorgeous epiprimnums up here for $30. These are very full hanging baskets. That is a great price. We've got some Alocasia fridex over here for $55. Correction, $45. I can read today, you guys. Some beautiful Alocasia pink dragons. I absolutely love the beautiful pink stems on these. These are only $25. All right, you guys, we're at Dee Dee's Plants, and you know I like to stock up on my clear pots from Peta's Planters and Dee Dee's Plants, which I don't even think Peta has clear pots this time. So I'm about to snag some of these up. It says they're $1 each. We've got 2.5-inch and 3-inch, which is definitely what I am in short supply of right now. You guys, this is the first linearis I have seen at this show. First linearis I've honestly seen in a long time in a 6-inch hanging basket, relatively full, relatively long, but $95. That is insane. And the reason these are going up in price so much is because they are so hard to find, at least here in the States they are. And that is just crazy. But until they just become easier to find, that's the kind of pricing that we're going to be seeing. All right, you guys, we're at Hive Plants now. We got some beautiful looking Syngonium right here. This, let's see if I can find a price, is only $10, you guys. It looks like a Syngonium white butterfly, beautiful plant. We've got a Philodendron Texas Jose Buono next to it for $60. Some beautiful coloration on those leaves. We've also got some Philodendron Ring of Fire going on. Not super variegated, but still a good looking plant for $20. We've got what look like some Peperomia Frost for $15, but yes, Silver Frost. Peperomia Silver Frost for $15. You guys know I love my Frost Peperomia. We've got some little Alocasia low riders here for only $7.50. These are some great prices, you guys. Here's some other Philodendron Ring of Fire, some smaller ones for just $5. You guys remember how expensive these used to be? And up here we have a beautiful Alocasia scalprum with gorgeous reddish, almost purplish backsides to those leaves. I guess maroonish would be the best way to describe it. But beautiful leaves, and once again, it's just, the lighting in here is not doing it justice on camera, you guys. It is a super, super dark leaf. Only $30 for this one, and as you can see, it is 2 plants in 1 pot. So you guys, they have clear pots as well, and they're actually cheaper than the ones that I just bought from Dee Dee's Plants. And it does say that they do sell them online as well. So if you are looking for a place to source your clear pots from, Hive Plants would be a good place to check out. And right here we have a Philodendron Florida Green by a Tortum. Very sculptural looking plant. This is $80. It's in a 5-inch pot. All right, you guys, so Peta's Planters, which you know is one of my local favorite plant shops that's actually a little bit far away from me, which is probably a good thing. Helps keep my plant buying in check. They have two booths here this time. This is their Hoya booth, and then they have a separate booth with all of their aroids and other plants. But let's see what they've got. We've got some beautiful Hoya Houseplants inner variegates up here for $32.99. They've also got the outer variegated ones over here for, it looks like, $55. The outer variegated is the rarer of the two, you guys. And then it looks like they do have some just regular all green ones back up there as well for $24.99. But down here we have a Hoya Panchoy, I think is how it's pronounced, for $25. We've got a Hoya Rosita, which is one of the plants I believe that's involved, I want to say, in the NAP 016 cross, because I absolutely love my NAP 016. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is one of the parent plants for that. Back up here, that's another Panchoy. We have an outer variegated Hoya Polynura over here. You guys know I want to kick with these right now. That is $55. We've got a Hoya Obravata Super Splash for $25. We've got just a regular Hoya Obravata, like inner variegated variety up here for $29.99. We got some Hoya Silver Ladies for $37.99. This is a Hoya Red Maroon. This is only $15, you guys, but look at the beautiful reddish coloring that the leaves come in. And they are quite dark leafed. Once again, for whatever reason, everything's reading brighter on camera today. So just imagine everything is a little bit darker in person. They have almost, oh no, I was gonna say, I think they almost sold out of the Hoya Carnosa Manaloa, which is, sorry, Hoya Carnosa Compactum, Manaloa, Manaloa, that's what it is. This is the inner variegated version of the Hoya Carnosa Compacta, so I own the outer variegated version. They do have more up here. I would love to own one of these one day, but because they are such slow growers, I'd really prefer to have a much fuller basket than this. These are $42.99. And then over here we have a Hoya GPS 7240 for $50. This reminds me a lot of my Hoya VL9, very similar look to it. Little bit of speckling, similar shaped leaves, absolutely love it. And here, you guys, we have a Hoya Crinkle 8. So this is one of the parent plants for all the Hoya Suzy Q that I've been buying up recently, which it looks very similar to the Hoya Suzy Q, like very similar. So interested to see as my Hoya Suzy Qs mature, how they're gonna look, like how different they're gonna look from this. This is $32. We've got some Hoya Silver Dollars for $35 next to this. These are so silver, you guys, so silver. We got a regular Hoya Polynura all green one right here. This does not have a price tag on it, but a beautiful looking plant. We've got some Hoya Acuta inner variegated over here. I don't see, let's see, oh there it is, $32 for that. This is a sort of low variegated Hoya Carnosa Silver Moon, you guys, but you can see that kind of silverish splashy variegation on there. This is only $20. And they do have some of the Dischidia, like I own. This, ooh, let's see if I can find the price without messing stuff up. $45.99. I will put the scientific name up on screen for you. It's rotundifolia, I think. I always mix it up with the one that used to be on my wish list before I got this one, but commonly known as A Million Hearts. They also have very full pots of Dischidia String of Nickels for $38.99. And up here, this is a Hoya Bella Louis Boy, which is an inner variegated Hoya Bella. These are $49.99. And right here, you guys, we have a Hoya Argentea Princess for $90. I really like how some of these look. Some of them, though, I've seen some that I'm not a huge fan of, but I really do like this one because it's got kind of the muted colors, but then the green pops through. It's really, really beautiful. And then down here, we have some of the outer variegated Hoya carnosa compacta, like what I own. These are $24.99. All right, guys, we're at Potted Up Paradise's booth, and look at this gorgeous philodendron Emerald King. It is just a baby. These are pretty small leaves on these, but I love the look of these plants, like so much, you guys, so much. Let me see if I can find a price. I unfortunately do not see a price on it, but that's okay. But also, they have like full care instructions on the tag, and they state whether it is pet friendly or not. I really like that. That is very helpful to people. There's a gorgeous philodendron red Congo marble. Look at that beautiful speckly variegation, that reddish tone. Once again, you guys, I'm not. Oh wait, I see the prices now. That is 150. The Emerald Kings were 140. They were just kind of hiding up in the corner of the tag, but that is a stunning plant. There's a very large philodendron orange princess marble back here. It's not as marbled as I thought it was going to be, but this is $180. There's a very good looking philodendron Jose Bono for $30. A Syngonium, I was going to say red spot tricolor, but I think this is a pink lava. Yes, this is a $30 Syngonium pink lava, very similar looking to a red spot tricolor. A very, very red Aglaonema back here, appropriately titled Aglaonema Super Red. Definitely is super red. That is $25. We've got another type of Aglaonema over here. This is $30, and this is a red legacy, also very stunning looking plant. They've got some beautiful looking Calathea beauty stars here for $12. This is a Spathiphyllum Sensation Mint for $32. Look at that nice stripy variegation there. Here's a very beautiful looking Hoya pubicalyx Silver Splash. Look at the nice dark reddish maroonish, it's almost kind of brownish blackish looking new growth that's coming in on that. This is $20. Can't remember if I just said that. All right, guys, we're over at Bare Root Botanicals booth. They've got a lot of rare plants going on over here. We've got some various types of variegated alocasia in here. This is a pink black velvet for $225. There is a dragon's breath Hoya in the back there for $450. These are in a glass case, so I can't really get super close up on them. Here is a Longalobia purple for $85. Then coming down here, we have some other varieties. These ones in the front here don't have labels on them, but looks like maybe some kind of variegated Amazonica. They're $225. And then over here we have what's known as an Alocasia Teletubbies. I'm not really sure why it's called Teletubbies, but also never watched Teletubbies, but it's got very wrinkled looking leaves, as you can see. I also cannot see the price on this one, but I have a feeling it is probably quite pricey. And then down here we have some Alocasia longalobia mottled. This little one in the front here is $250, called mottled because, as you can see, very speckled mottled look on the leaves. There's a much larger one in the back for $400. We have a type of variegated anthurium back here. I don't see a tag, but it is $300. Beautiful kind of Aurea style looking variegation on that leaf. And here we have a philodendron black cardinal variegated type 2. This is $145. I am not the biggest fan of the variegation on these plants just because it looks very... The variegation's pretty, don't get me wrong, but the coloration of the plant in general is very muted, is the word I would use to describe it. And it's just not my vibe when it comes to plants, but definitely still a gorgeous plant. It's just not my personal preference. And then right next to it, we have the regular variegated version of the same plant. So you can see that on this version, you get a little bit more of that marbling kind of pattern going on versus on the type 2 one. This one is $195. And back here we have a larger Emerald King than I've seen so far here. So Philodendron Emerald King for $145. This one's not quite as strongly variegated as some of the smaller ones that I've seen, but it's still a beautiful plant. And down here we have a Philodendron Jennifer variegated. I am not 100% certain what this plant is a cross of. I could make some guesses, but I will look it up, and if I can figure it out, I will put it on screen for you. But this is $550. We have a variegated Adansonii, or no, it's an acuminatata, Monstera acuminatata for $50. For $80, we have what looks like a mint Adansonii back here. And then over here we have Monstera muiana, I think is how you pronounce it. This is, let me see if I can find a price, $125. I have not heard of this one before, but looks like it's going to be more of an elongated, narrow leaf, but is still going to get fenestrations. And then down here we have a very gorgeous looking blue oil fern. This is $50. And next to that we have a Ficus lyrata variegated. So fiddle leaf fig, but variegated, a very, very baby one. But look how absolutely stunning the variegation is on those leaves. This is $75. And then here we have a Syndapsus coraceus variegated for $90. Very beautiful stripy variegation on this plant. Ooh, look here, you guys. We have a variegated curtisii, so Hoya curtisii, an albo version for $150. This is a Hoya lacunosa asami for $30. And here's a Hoya Wilbur Graves silver. I'm seeing a lot of these in various places these days. So basically like my Wilbur Graves, but just much, much, much more silver on the plants. This was $60. All right, you guys, let's go over everything I bought, and I bought way too much. That's really all I have to say. And by way too much, I really mean I spent way too much money, more than anything else. But that's okay. So I did get a ton of clear pots. I don't even remember exactly how many I got now. The rest are in the back seat. But I did get 4 of these 9-inch ones from Hive Plants. These were $6 for 2, so $3 per pot, although they were doing a deal where if you got more, I don't remember exactly what the deal was. If you got more than a certain number, you got 10% off. So I got 10% off all of these, but it does say order more at hiveplants.com. So if you want to get some clear pots like these for decent pricing, although I don't know how much shipping would be, but go check them out. So I did get a bunch of 4-inch ones in addition to these from them. I got the 3.5-inch ones from Dee Dee's Plants, and I got 2.5-inch ones from Dee Dee's Plants. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I wish I had known that Hive Plants had them before I bought the ones from Dee Dee's Plants, because their 2.5 and 3.5 inches were cheaper. So 10 out of 10 recommend Hive Plants over Dee Dee Plants. Not that Dee Dee's were that much more expensive, but I mean, they were more expensive. Okay, let's see, did I have anything else in there? I don't even know. Everything's so spread out, you guys. All right, I know you guys have been wanting me to do videos on pon, try pon, all the pon things, and I have never grown anything in pon before, which is why I've never done a video about pon before, because I mean, well, I guess I could have done a video, but that wouldn't be very responsible of me to do a video about growing a pon having never grown pon. But there is a cool girl here who makes her own pon locally, and so I did buy a bag of her pon. It's so heavy, and I'm gonna give this a try. This is Koly Rocks Pon. I'll be sure to link all of her socials and everything down below in the description for you. But I've heard good things about her pon, and so I am officially going to be giving pon a try. Now, I also bought some other, not really, well, I was gonna say non-planty things. Are kind of planty, but anyways, they're not actually plants, we'll put it that way. And it's actually clothing. But also I got this really fun crazy plant lady bag for buying these 2 sweatshirts. And I never buy clothes anymore, you guys. Like, I'm the world's worst. Like, the pants I'm wearing right now, I think I bought them when I was 22, which means they're like 21-year-old pants. They're still in good condition though. I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty good with my clothes. Like, they don't get ratty or anything, but it's hard for me to find clothes. I'm very small. I'm like 5'1.5", you guys. I'm like a freaking 00. It's hard to find clothes. And despite being short, I'm very long armed and very long leg. I don't know. It's just hard to shop. But anyways, but I love me a good sweatshirt. And I just recently, like 2 days ago, watched K-pop Demon Hunters for the first time, which I knew it was like this big thing that everybody was talking about, but I just hadn't watched it. And some of my friends gave me some crap about it. And I absolutely love Derpy, the cat from that movie. And look what I found. And my favorite thing about Derpy is in that movie when Derpy first makes his first appearance, it involves a plant like this. And I don't even know if you can see everything right now because I can't see the screen on the camera. But I thought this was super cute. So I got this sweatshirt, but then they also had another really cute sweatshirt that I wanted because I don't have any plant-based sweatshirts, you guys, at all. I think I just messed up the camera. Hold on, you guys. Okay, it found me again. There's face track on this camera, so as you can see, it follows me. But when I held up this sweatshirt, it got confused, which means it's probably about to happen again. But I don't have any planty based sweatshirts. I do have t-shirts, but not sweatshirts. So from the same place, I also got this Monstera sweatshirt, which is also really cute. They're both really comfy and they actually fit me okay. So I was super excited about that. And they gave me $10 off for buying two. So I think it ended up being like 25 per sweatshirt, which is not too bad, at least in my personal opinion. But let's move on to the actual plants. Now, I did buy a plant that is not for myself. I've been wanting to get my sister a new orchid because she is really good with orchids. I don't know what the deal is. She keeps them blooming nonstop. Like, she's just good with orchids. And so I wanted to get her an orchid that had more interesting leaves because she just has kind of your standard like grocery store orchids that just have the green leaves that are just plain. And so I'd been looking up earlier this year some different types of orchids that had more interesting leaves, and I had floated some ideas past her, and I found some of them at the show today. So I did buy her this Phalaenopsis schilleriana Wilson #5. It has pink flowers when it blooms, but look how pretty and speckly looking these leaves are. And I don't know, oh, you can tell. They are very maroon on the backside too. Love me a maroon backside to the leaves. This was $35. I have never owned an orchid myself before, but I only have to keep this alive for like 1 month because she's coming up here for Thanksgiving and I will give her this plant at that time. But this is for her. And then I did get myself one plant. I almost bought myself two plants, and then I was like, let's just wait because I might want to get something different later. I don't know. We'll see. But probably no surprise. It's a Hoya polyneura, and I did get it from PETA's Planters. There are a bunch of plant tags in this bag that I don't know if they knew were in there because they aren't, none of them are for this plant. I might have to see if they need those back. But this is the Hoya polyneura inner variegated. So my polyneura collection is growing more, but I've been wanting one of these for a while now. Like when I went shopping at PETA's Planters a couple months ago and brought you guys along, I was hoping they had one of these and they didn't. So when I saw this, I had to buy it. It was $68, so it wasn't like super cheap or anything. You can see the roots growing around in there, but I just saw it and was like, I want to have it. So I bought it. That's what happened. So I think, I might have all the polyneuras I need for a while now, I think. Although I did see a new variety today that I'd never seen before, but I don't know. Super excited to have that though. Okay, that's it for now. There may be more, but we'll see. Okay, guys, we're at Prop and Grow's booth right now. We have a Monstera adansonii modeled for $150. Definitely a very modeled variegation on this. Kind of the most modeled I'd ever seen on a Monstera adansonii. We have a variegated Monstera Peru beautiful level of variegation on this one. This is $65. Here is a little baby philodendron caramel marble. I think this is the first one of these I've seen at this show so far. This is $100. And then behind this, we have some alocasia green velvet mutation of sorts. These are $100. This kind of messed with my brain for a second, you guys, because when I first saw it, I actually kind of thought it was a Syngonium Godzilla from a distance until I looked further down and I was like, that is not a vining plant. So this is a very fascinating alocasia. And then we have more alocasias over here. This is also variegated. This is a dragon scale mint for $45. And then here we have some alocasia poly pinks. Not looking terribly pink at the moment. These are $150. We have some $12 Hoya Crimson Princess over here as well. And then they do also have some Matilde Splash going on down here. Looks like these are $15. Here are some variegated peperomias. First time I've seen those today. This is a watermelon gold dust, $18 for that. I can't keep a regular watermelon happy and like with solid unbroken leaves, so I feel like I probably wouldn't do any better with a variegated variety. Here is a beautiful looking philodendron Rio, very full 6-inch pot, only $30 for this stunning plant. Do see they have Hoya Hushkaliana inner variegateds. These are $35, and then they do also have the outer variegated version for $40. The outer variegated version, once again, is always going to be slightly more expensive than the inner just because it is the harder to find, rarer variety. This is a philodendron lime fiddle, and there is slight variegation, hopefully you can see on those leaves. This is $36. And here we have some little 2-inch pots of Hoya linearis. These are $15, which to me, once again, is crazy for a tiny little pot of linearis, but it's actually probably a little bit better priced than some of the others that we've seen. Here we have some little pots of philodendron painted lady for $10. First of these that I have seen so far. Here is a calathea that I have never seen before, although I'm questioning if this is actually a calathea or possibly actually a type of stromanthe. But it does say calathea, so I'm gonna go with what it's labeled, and it says it's a calathea watercolor. Beautiful looking plant, but it does have a little bit more of a stromanthe shape to that leaf, which is the only reason that I'm kind of questioning if maybe it's not actually a stromanthe, but very beautiful plant, only $15. We have some $15 Calathea macroyanas, aka peacock calatheas down here. I feel like somebody went in with a leaf shine this morning in this booth. Some of these leaves are very shiny. We have some lemon lime marantas over here for $25 in 6-inch baskets. These are some beautiful Calathea vittatas for $15. Absolutely love the way those look. We have some Calathea stellas for $30. This is the one that is very similar to the white fusion or fusion white, whichever way you prefer to say it, except that these are a little bit less white than the fusion white. And also, I don't think, oh, they do have purple. I was thinking they had the more reddish color, but they do still have that purplish color that you get with the white fusion, but just not as white, but still an absolutely stunning plant. We've got some lovely looking Calathea ornatas for $25. This is making me want to get more Calathea, you guys, especially that vittata. Oh my gosh, like, it's so gorgeous. I don't have room. I mean, I could probably make room for another Calathea. I don't know. I need to really do some restyling, you guys. I really do. But there is also a Tenanthe Burl Marxii. I have one of these, as you guys know. Love this. If you have struggled with Calathea before, Tenanthes, in my personal opinion, are a lot easier to start with than Calathea, and they are a prayer plant family plant. They just seem to be a little bit more tolerant of things than Calathea. This is $15. We have some ZZ plants. These do look like the Raven variety or They've got to be called something else though, because this is not cost of arms. But it is the black variety. These are $15. Okay, I think I was right about somebody leaf shining because they're selling leaf shine. So that's why some of these plants look super shiny. But we have some peperomia chocolate ripples here, 6-inch, very full pot for only $15. They've got some little $12 4-inch pots of peperomia prostrata, aka string of turtles, one of my favorite peperomias. We've got some Syngonium albos looking absolutely lovely for $18. Look at this cute little Syngonium, you guys. Very narrow leaves, kind of a tricolor look to it. This is called Syngonium Starlight. I haven't heard of this one before. This is a very bushy little 4-inch plant for $30. I actually really like this one. We've got some Syngonium hollies up here, very full 6-inch pots for $20. I feel like I never see these anymore. This used to be like one of the super common Syngoniums you always saw in garden centers, and then like for the last few years, I feel like I haven't really seen them. So nice to see them here again. Here we have a Syngonium pink lava, and this one is super pink compared to the one that I think we saw yesterday. This is $30. They have some $45 Monstera Thai constellations, looking very good in terms of the variegation. These are 6-inch pots. We've got some Alocasia Mickey Mouse, which I think technically these aren't Alocasias. I could be wrong. I'll look up what the correct genus is for these and put it on screen for you, but these are $15. We've got some Monstera Burl Marks Flames down here. Obviously they have not formed fenestrations yet, but still looking lovely. 6-inch pots for $50. Here are some much larger Mickey Mouse. These are $30. Over here we have some Alocasia Jacquelines for $25. We're now at Blooming House Botanicals booth. Love the stems on these. That stripy looking stem is so gorgeous. And here we have some Alocasia Tiny Dancers, which I wish mine would get to this size already. Mine just does not really want to size up for some reason, but this is how big I would like it to be. These are in 6-inch pots. They are $25. Here's a very large leaf Milano Chrysum. So this is $300. You guys know I won't touch these plants anymore because they just do not like me. I cannot get them to size up. They just want to have stuck, torn leaves coming in. So kudos to anyone who can get them to this size. And then over here we have a Philodendron Gloriosum Galaxy. So this is the variegated version of the Philodendron Gloriosum that is a little bit more marbled. This is $275. And here we have a variegated peace lily. This is $70, but look at the variegation on that one leaf right there. That is absolutely stunning. And here is the first Rhaphidophora tetrasperma white monster that I have seen here. It is just a tiny little baby one. It is $175. Once again, not my preferred type of variegation, but to each their own. And then next to that, we have some Syndapsis satin jade. Hold on, I said that wrong. Jade satin, I always reverse it, marbles for $40. Beautiful plant, but me and Syndapsis have come to the conclusion that we don't really get along that well. I can keep them alive, but I just struggle to get them to continue to put out leaves and not just runners. So I have just decided that for the time being, me and Syndapsis, we're not going to be having much, if any, of a relationship. Some beautiful neon pothos, very full 4-inch baskets. These are $14, and then we have some pearls in jade for $14 here as well. This is interesting. So this is a caladium. It is a Thai. Let me try this again. Thai caladium chocolate. It is $40. That is kind of the first caladium I've seen with this kind of interesting coloration to it. And then next to that, we have a Thai Caladium Snow Lace, also for $40. Kind of reminds me of a Syngonium Batik a little bit, the patterning on that leaf. Okay, we're now at D&M Secret Gardens booth. There are a lot of interesting plants to see here. This looks like a Monstera mint. It is actually a Monstera Brazil mint. This is $700. That is some very minty variegation though on that leaf. They have a lot of kind of smaller variegated billies over here. These are $450. I just still can't believe how expensive variegated billies are, especially since I feel like I see them everywhere now and in relatively large sizes. So I honestly would have thought the pricing would have started to come down more than that by now, but apparently not. They have some beautiful looking Monstera albos over here as well, in around the $250 range for most of these. Okay, and here we have a Monstera lemon lime. This is $1,000. This is the first time I have seen one of these. Kind of has a little bit of a, I don't know, almost like a, it looks kind of like a cross between an Aurea and a green on green. Maybe. I think that's the best way to describe it. Don't you agree? Comment down below and let me know. And then here we actually have a Homalamina rubescens variegated. So very much kind of an Aurea type feel to this one. This is $250. Okay, you guys, I just found a wishlist Hoya of mine that I will not be buying because the price is $1,200. That's right, $1,200. But this is a Hoya Madeira Snowdrift, or Snow Angel, sorry. Or is it Madara? Madara is how it is pronounced, I believe. But I love the variegation on this Hoya. Would love to own one of these one day, but definitely not at that price. Here is a baby Monstera deliciosa compacta for $180. If you guys don't know the compactas, the nodes grow much closer together than on a regular Monstera deliciosa. You guys, here is a Monstera deliciosa ivory. This is a very, very marbled plant. Look at that leaf. That is so beautiful. This is my kind of Monstera variegation, or just in general. You guys, if you've been here for a while, you've probably learned I like the marbled look on plants. This is $300. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I think these are Epipremnum aureum, maybe global greens, which are on my wish list. But I'm not seeing any tags, but that kind of looks like what it is. But I will see if I can find out and flash it up on screen for you, and maybe I can find out a price as well. Actually, you guys, I'm pretty sure, yes, these are all Taruno Epipremnum. So if you missed my top 10 Epipremnum video from a few months back, I mentioned Taruno Epipremnums and how they were doing a lot of different releases of various mutations, and we have a lot of them here. So I am seeing the variegated version of the Shangri-La. So this is your kind of crinkled ones over here. That is actually called Love Song. Some of these are kind of hard to get to, you guys, and I don't want to accidentally knock anything over, but this looks like a variegated tortum. Actually, no, it is a Philodendron Florida Beauty by a tortum. Seeing these a lot. I think this is going to become a fairly popular plant here. It is $250. You guys, I don't even see a tag for this, but this looks like an Epipremnum pinnatum of sort. It is quite stunning. This kind of almost, it's got kind of an ombre vibe to it on some of these leaves, but then some of the other ones have a little bit more of the white on them, but it is absolutely beautiful. This is an Epipremnum Yellow Flame for $50. I've seen a lot of people walking around carrying these around. That pricing is really good. That's actually come down a lot from what I saw last year. Okay, guys, we are at a different booth now. It is Vic and Vines, and they also have a Epipremnum aureum Japanese Global, which I think I accidentally said Global Green at the last place we were at, but hopefully I corrected myself on screen. This is $38. Beautiful plant though. Like I said, this one is on my wish list, but I would like a little bit more established one. They've got a lot of little baby Hoyas over here. We have a Hoya Bravada Splash for $20. I don't know what this is, but it has got some cute dark green, and they actually look dark on camera today. It's a miracle. This is a Hoya Carrii NS13064, all the numbers, but I really like the look of this one. This is $30. It does look like, though, this is probably just a baby one, and the leaves do get bigger because there's another one over here with much bigger leaves. And here's one that's got more than just 2 leaves. I still kind of like it. It's just so beautiful in that darkness. And this one actually does look a little brighter green on screen, but even this bigger one is $55, so not too much more expensive. And over here we have a Hoya Wilbur Graves for $33. The pricing has come down, you guys, big time. We got some more going on back here as well. And then up here we have a lovely looking Hoya Polynera outer variegated. It's missing a tag, so I have no clue how much it costs, but definitely a gorgeous looking plant. We have a Hoya mirabilis. It's going to be one of those days where I'm going to struggle to pronounce names, I guess. Once again, a very dark leafed Hoya. This is $25. They also have a Hoya Lacuminosa Asami. This is $17. And look how different the new leaf is compared to the other leaves. That's kind of crazy that it's doing that. Well, this is a cutie. This is a Hoya Lima Splash. Tiny little splashy silver leaves. My kind of Hoya. $15 for that. And then here we have a Hoya Polynera Silver. This also does not have a tag, so I don't know how much it is, but you guys may recall I did get a silver Polynera from Petus Planters a few months back, and I am absolutely loving it. Okay, you guys, my wireless mic died at some point and I didn't realize it, so if the audio quality got a little wonky there for a bit, my apologies. I have my backup mic working now, and we are at Nest Tropical's booth. I do see some fun plank-mounted ferns of sorts going on here. Looks like this is, this is actually an anthurium, Anthurium gracili, $50 for this plant. I see they have some blue oil ferns as well. These are $40. Here is a Hoya, I'm gonna probably butcher this, Lai Chan Forest Vietnam. This is $30, a very silvery kind of backs to these leaves, and then just kind of beautiful regular green on the fronts. They've got lots of trellis Hoyas going on over here, you guys. This is a Hoya Exilis for $115. Leaves remind me very much of like a Hoya Bella. Very symmetrical in terms of the growth pattern, similar shape, but all in all a very beautiful plant. Here we have a Hoya Lacunosa Marana. Sorry, we had like a vine getting in the shot there. $50 for this, beautifully variegated, pretty long and trailing. And the plant that was getting all up in our shot here is a Hoya Chubby Bunny RHI 402 for $100. Here we have a very silvery Hoya Lacunosa sulcata. This is $30, very long and trailing. Look at the gorgeous dark coloration on these new leaves that are coming in. This vine is like almost black, you guys. This is $55 for a very full, very trailing plant. It is a Hoya with a bunch of numbers, I think. Hoya NS 05-240, but that is one beautiful plant. You can see that the vines don't stay that blackish color, but I have a hunch that this probably sun stresses a deep kind of purplish color, since that is the coloration of the new growth. Here's a really beautiful Hoya Lacunosa tricolor for only $35. Here are some Hoya Carnosa Marianas for $45. I've actually never heard of this before, but definitely looks like another kind of compacta-ish or crinkle-ish type Hoya. Oh my gosh, you guys, look how cute these little palm tree lamps are with the lights inside of the coconut shells. These are $60. This is Handcraft Heaven. These are so cute. All right, you guys, we're at Purple Elephant Plant Company's booth, and they are coming with all the Aglaonemas here. Somebody needs to keep Richie from Grow Folds away from this booth, because he told me today exactly how many Aglaonema he has. He needs to perhaps slow his roll on the Aglaonema purchases, but you guys know how much he loves Aglaonema. And honestly, you guys, what's not to love? They're pretty easy to take care of. They're some of the most colorful plants that you can find, and these are absolutely stunning. So we do have Aglaonema Orange Stardust here. These are $45. I'm really kind of digging this pink one back here. Let's see if I can see the tag. This is a peach cocken, I think, peach cocken spot, and it is $65. We've got beautiful red kind of pinstripey looking one here. The only downside to Aglaonemas packed in together like this is sometimes it's hard to get them out to sea because their leaves get tangled up on everybody. This is aptly named Aglaonema red vein. It is $65. So here is a beautiful bright red one. Some of these are wrapped up in bags, so I'm gonna do my best, but also I can't pronounce this. So there it is, you guys. That's what it's called. This one, I'm not seeing a price tag on it, but probably around the same range. Look at this beautiful Syndapsis, you guys. Subtle green on green variegation. It's I guess just an unidentified species. This is $75. You guys, this is a very interestingly shaped Hoya. I really, really like the shape of these leaves. They're kind of like little arrowheads, if you will, kind of a cross between an arrowhead and a heart shape on the leaf. This is $95. This is another one of those I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. So that right there is what this plant is, but definitely a very uniquely shaped Hoya. Okay, guys, we are at Plantasy Gardens booth now. They've got some variegated banana trees here. Some of them are looking a little bit better than others. I love the blushing color that is going on these. I'm trying to see if I can find you a price. Okay, I checked, they are $125. Here is a Syndapsis Pea Sun for $25. Very kind of marbly looking Syndapsis. All right, you guys, this is the first philodendron strawberry shake that I have seen. These went out of popularity real fast, I feel like. And I think it's because they're kind of a pain in the butt to grow, in my personal opinion. This is $45, and that is so cheap compared to what they used to cost. We do have some variegated plumerias here. This is $55. And then you guys, we have one of the Aglaonemas, no, not what am I saying? Philodendrons. This is a pink Birkin. This is the first time I have seen one of these in person, but look at the super pink stems on them. Has the striping like the regular Birkin, but has that kind of pinkish tinge to it. These are $55. We have some Aglaonema pictum tricolors here for $25. Here is a Manila's Pride. So Aglaonema Manila's Pride. This is, in my personal opinion, one of the most beautiful Aglaonemas out there. This is $75. These are still priced pretty high. I hear they are not necessarily the easiest Aglaonema. They tend to be a little bit more finicky, but still just a beautiful plant. And then behind that for $95, we have something. And I say something because I don't see a tag. Let me see if I can find one. It is not labeled, but I do believe it is a type of philodendron. Here is a Homalamina Stardust variegated. This is $95. This is another one I'm not going to try to pronounce here, but it is a type of Aglaonema, and it is gorgeous, you guys. $65. Look how beautifully variegated these leaves are. That is just stunning. Oh my gosh, I really, really like this one, you guys. This might be going on my wish list. And here we have some variegated Rhaphidophora tetraspermas. These are $50 each. Here are some hibiscus pink variegated. It says these are hardy to zone 8, so I'm in zone 8. This is the first variegated hardy hibiscus I've seen like this. These are $35. I still prefer my tropical hibiscus, which has similar variegation on the leaves. I just like the shapes of the leaves better, and I know it's just crappy though because I can't leave it outside year round, but this is still a stunning plant. I don't know, something for me to possibly consider at some point for outside my home. And I forgot to say, you guys, we're now at Plant Zaddy Therapies booth, so that is where these are being sold at. And he's got, as usual, a lot of fun stuff. We have a Lauterbachia albo, so this is an type of alocasia, $120. Here is a Monstera cereana Mexican form, $650. Look at those curly leaves. Now, not all of the leaves look like that. They do kind of straighten out, but right now I think this is just a leaf that still maybe hasn't fully hardened off or something, even though you would think it would be because it's the leaf before the new one that's coming in. But I just kind of like how that looks. It's almost like it got its hair done, right? It got styled, curled a bit. And he's got a slightly more mature caramel marble than the ones we saw before. So philodendron caramel marble, this is 175. You guys, look how beautiful this leaf is. He has got so many variegated anthurium up in here. This is a Hot Barbie clone, appropriately called Hot Barbie with that pinkish color. This is $8,500. So he does have some of the variegation that I've been looking for in terms of variegated anthurium, but like I mentioned in a video earlier this year, the price tag on these is too high for me. Like, it's going to be a while before I can afford any of these. But this is another variegated one. It says variegated DP, $1,500. Look at this cutie down here. Look at the color of that new leaf. This is a pink pap mutant, $4,500. And, you know, Barbie can't be without her Ken, so we have Ken's Dream here for $1,200. Ooh, and there's the ever so popular variegated pink begonia maculata, $685 for this little baby. He does have a Devil Monstera, a pretty big specimen up here. This is $12,000. Okay, guys, he has some Polyneura varieties that I haven't seen yet. So we have a Polyneura King, which is a little bit like an intervariegated, but just there's slightly different look to the variegation. And then there is a Polyneura Jasminka King. So this must be a cross between the King and a Jasminka, although I'm not really seeing a ton of Jasminka in that. That is $750. There is a tiny little Hoya back there that is called a Gray Fairy for $600. He's got some Hoya lacunosa Brunos. These are $40. I don't have any lacunosas, you guys, but I think this is the one that I saw. I want to say this is the one that I saw for the first time at IAS last year that I really liked, but it's very similar looking to, for example, like a Hoya Hushkaliana intervariegated, except for the fact that it is a little bit of a more elongated leaf shape. And he's got a lot of the Hoya Wilbur Graves silvers going on, and I believe I saw in his sign that they're on sale for $16. Pretty good deal. Here are some Hoya lacunosa mint coins for $15. Much more of a round leaf shape than a lot of the other lacunosas that you see. Okay, guys, we are at Succulents Empire with the largest variegated billy I think I have ever seen in my life. Just to give you guys an idea, look how thick that stem is. This thing is in a massive pot. I don't even want to think about how big this is. I don't even want to think about how they got it on this table. That thing's got to weigh a ton. And guys, this is a cute little splashy Hoya right here. My kind of Hoya for sure. I don't see a price on this. These are Succulents Empire, in case you don't know, is a Palm Street seller. If you've bought plants from Palm Street, anytime you see a silver number like this on any of the plants today, that is a good indication that they are a Palm Street seller. But this is a super, super cute little Hoya baby here. And I did just see that they have a Hoya Cumingiana Alba Marginata. So I do have one of these that I got from Aroid Asia. Love it. Once again, I'm not seeing a price on these, but super cute little baby here. They've got some beautiful Hoya Carrii here, $65. Here is a splashy variety for the same price. And then we've got a massive, might even be bigger than the variegated billy that we were just looking at, regular billy. I don't even know how you get this home, you guys. Like, it's so big. You would need like a cargo van or something. All right, you guys, we're at Plant Stop USA's booth. As you guys know, this is who Aroid Asia uses now to import plants. And I'm seeing a lot of nice plants here. We have a Hoya Cumingiana Alba Marginata here, a very long vine one for $44. Hoya lacunosa Green Flame, a very splashy looking lacunosa for $50. They have got some regular Hoya Polyneura in here. These are Okay, maybe this is, oh, sorry, these are Broglie, you guys. So this is a slightly silver variety. These are 85. We've got Hoya lacunosa Midori. Love how these ones look. This is $100. Here is a Hoya lacunosa silver, very silver splashy leaves. Absolutely love this. This is 63. You guys, I just noticed these are all 40% off, so that is practically half off all those prices I just listed. Here is a Hoya lacunosa silver lime, so has a little bit more of that kind of lighter, slightly yellowish coloring to it. 44, so 40% off of that. It's just me and my plants. Sometimes I water them. Sometimes I walk around the yard and show my daughter them. It's just me and my plants. Hey, I'm in the gardening. But people out here probleming, so I've been guarding them. It's just me and my plants. Well, turns out that was not all, you guys. So I thought I was doing pretty well on day 2 of the show, not spending any money and trying like purposefully not to buy anything else. But as you saw, a lot of the places were doing some pretty good discounts, and Plant Stop USA got me with the 40% off Hoya. And just in case anybody's new here, I want to be clear, I am not like a solely Hoya person, and I actually met Richie from Grow Folds in person for the first time at PlantCon on day 1. And it was funny because he had mentioned to me, like, I really wish you would get into Aglaonema. And then he had like, but you seem to be a Hoya person. And I'm like, Richie, I am an everything person. And then I was talking to Lupita from Pita's Planners later, and even she was like, yeah, you're more of a like an everything person. And I kind of like told both of them the same thing. I was like, I go through phases. So I have a ton of different genera of plants, you guys, a ton. Do I have more of some than I do others? Yes. Is Hoya currently the ones that I have the most of? Yes. But I have a ton of Calathea, a ton of Anthurium, a ton of Philodendron. I've got succulents. I've got peperomia. Like, you name it, practically, I've got it. But I do seem to kind of go through phases. And last year was like my Anthurium year and era. And lately, I've just been more into Hoya right now. And I think it's just because they're just so laid back and so easy to take care of. So I did get another Hoya from Plant Stop USA because, like I said, they got me with that 40% off because this is a Hoya lacunosa Midori, which I have always admired. And as I was saying, I really wanted a Hoya lacunosa at some point because I don't have one. Oh my gosh, camera is trying to follow my face. Stay put, camera. Stay put. Okay, there. Hopefully you can see that. Oh my goodness. Hold on, you guys. I need to figure out how to cancel this face tracking. Okay, I think I got it off. Oh, it's still kind of following me. But it's also staying on the plant. So, here we are. This beautiful, beautiful Hoya lacunosa Midori. Excuse the camera, but at least it's staying focused on it. So this was $75, but with 40% off, it was like, I think 47 or something like that. So I just could not pass that up, you guys. And once again, this is fresh import type situation in moss. I hate growing Hoya in moss because it's so hard to transition it later on because it's so hard to get the moss off of the roots. So I will probably be taking this out of the moss relatively quickly and trying to get as much off the roots as possible and then potting this up into my epiphyte mix. But I am super happy to have this. And you guys, no more buying plants for me for a long time because I also bought more plants from Texas Plant Connection in their final live sale, which was yesterday. So I don't know if you guys are going to get another unboxing video because I feel like that is way too many Texas Plant Connection unboxing videos to do very close together since I just did 2 in a row before. But what I might do is, I think we haven't done a plant chore video in a while, or I like to call them plant care videos. So I might give you guys one of those soon because they do have quite a few things I need to do, and I might just show you the other plants that I got from Texas Plant Connection at the start of that video just to kind of catch you up, because we also need to talk about where I'm going to put all of these freaking Hoyas. So definitely a styling video coming up in the future as well. Not sure in what order, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed coming along with me to PlantCon in this video. If so, please be sure to click that like and or subscribe button down below, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Aloha!